Good morning, good morning, good morning to each and every one of you. And as you can see, we're in for a glorious sunrise this morning. I'm not going to talk right through and I'm not going to start moving yet. Let us watch this for a little bit longer, but I want to say the Serenity Prayer at this time because as far as I'm concerned, this is the dawning of a new day. This is the opportunity for us to make a difference. This is a new day that God has given us that we can go forward and become better people today. So those who'd like to join me, please do. All others will be back to you in a few moments. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. Well, good morning to all of you all, my family, my friends, my loved ones. As you can see, we have somewhere new we're starting from today. It's going to be interesting to see what comments were made earlier on about these three crosses and about our location. I know Mr. Hunt, he would have called a spot for sure. At least him. I'm not too sure how many others would have done so. This morning is a different morning to our normal Saturdays. Usually we're very quiet, laid back, relaxed on Saturdays, just strolling and barely making the grade, turning the feet over. But today we're going to be doing a little bit of walking along the coastline because the conditions today are very, very favorable. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning. Now I have on my rain gear, so I'm going to take that off because I don't see any need for that right now. Oh, he did. Yes, I know he would for sure. So I'm going to leave you with this sun just for a couple more seconds, and then we're going to move on from here. So just bear with me a couple of seconds. Dig that up, man. All right, today is different, as I said before, not only because we're going to be taking a stroll on the coastline, but I want to introduce you to someone that has joined me today to enjoy this day as well. Good morning to you, Mr. Deputy Mark Peters. How are you going, sir? Just let me turn this microphone around so you can say hi to everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Beautiful morning.
Yep, Mark survived the ride over in the war wagon this morning. He did not get seasick, no gravel necessary. Well, don't know what your return trip, that might be different. And you know, Mark said he wanted to come along with us this morning, so welcome, Mark, to our morning gathering. Welcome to our stroll.
Looking forward to it.
Wonderful. All right, we're going to make our way from here. We're going to descend down into Chub Bay, known as Congor Bay, Chub Bay by some people, generally into the Bath area. And then we're going to work our way eastward towards Bath itself. A glorious, glorious sunrise this morning. Mark, boy, everybody calling for you, man. Now, your name all over the screen for sure. I don't normally look at the screen, but all I see is Mark, Mark, Mark. So beautiful, beautiful morning. You know, we saw some, at least I saw some clouds this morning on the satellite imagery coming in on the loop that looked as though they were coming in. It looks as though we may be in the center clearing right now. It is just absolutely stunning. As you can see from this elevation, you may be seeing the sargassum mats. We will be seeing some sargassum today. So, you know, if you have a problem with that, put on your sargassum filters and let us enjoy this beautiful nature that we're going to be walking into this morning. Now, as you can see, you can actually drive down here. I would not advocate that to anyone that's here that's unfamiliar with driving on this type of terrain. And you would also need, for sure, a real true lock diff 4x4 for this, because if there's any water or any kind of slipperiness out here, you will not get back out of some of these areas for sure. You also want lots of ground clearance, as you can see. If not, you're going to take off your undercarriage, especially like on a spot like this one here. So I would think if you should want to see a side of the island and you don't want to make it, you almost, yeah, could, and you want to not have to go into the Bath area, you can park where we are by the Three Crosses. Very easy to find. The only road that goes from Bath to Martins Bay, just along that road you will see the crosses on your right hand side. I still have not been able to find out what they represent. I had heard from someone that they were put there by the property owner to try and frighten people off. I don't know how that would frighten anyone off, but I'm not too sure of the reasons. I can't find out. I've asked a few of the tour guides that I know and some very knowledgeable driver guides that I used to work with, and they are unable to tell me. So if anyone is on here that has a little more information on that, I would most definitely love to hear it for sure. This hill, steep. It may look easy going, but you got to be real careful on this because there is slippage. As you would know, there's a lot of clay and mud over here as well, so it tends to be very, very slippery and powderish. Well, when dry, of course. Mark, well, I don't know about walking back at this hill yet. Yeah. You know me, I'm a lazy man. This is a lot of walking for me today. Nah, this is beautiful. Just gotta take our time. Yeah, I'm so happy to see over here dry actually, because you know the conditions all for the last 2 or 3 weeks have been very, very strong gusting winds. You know, it's been a lot of rain on the morning, so I was very, very fearful about coming here. We had a couple of options this morning, but when we stopped now, look, Mark said, look, let's do this route. So this is where we're gonna be doing today for sure. Now the signal station, or sorry, the cell station or tower is just over on the hill on our left. I didn't actually show you that. I should have thrown you a 360 at the beginning, but I fell short on that one, so my apologies. You'll have to see that another time. You know, there will be another time for sure. But because of where the location of the cell tower is, we can't really go too far over to our left, because as we get underneath that section there where all the hills are, we tend to lose all signal in that area. I have all my new spanking shoes, beauties, that my angel sent in for me. I'm glad to see it's not muddy either, because that would have made me cry if they got dirty today. Alright, I'm not watching the screen because I am watching where I'm walking. It is a fairly steep angle. I just give you an indication of what it looks like from here. So you can see it is quite steep coming down, especially in some of these sections. It's quite a bit longer than I remembered as well too. I guess it's because I'm walking and not driving this morning. Last time I came down here, I did it in the war wagon. Beautiful, beautiful area. As you can see, Mark is here. He's standing up. He's making a grade with us this morning. We're going to have a lovely walk along this area. Mark, have you ever been on this section before walking?
Definitely not.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you're going to see some real beautiful natural Barbados. As I said, we are going to see some sargassum, but we're going to look beyond that today. Quite easy to do because sargassum is like a normal thing for us here now. Natural as well. You can see the mat of gold. You know, there is some beauty in it for sure. It has a full mat of gold here. This is a big float, a new float that's come in. You can see from the color of it that this is fresh, fresh, fresh. And there are quite a few mats on the outside that we can see from the higher elevation as well. So any of you on the east side, you know this is what you'll be having. To all of my friends in Wash, a little bit more is coming your way for sure. Beautiful morning here in Barbados. As I mentioned in the preamble, I know a lot of you may not read the preamble, but as I mentioned in the preamble, we're having a very cold morning. 22 degrees this morning. Now, I am not laughing at him because I know he doesn't like the bush. But look at how these people are dressed this morning. Yeah, no, this is good. That's all right, no problem. That's all right. Beautiful morning though. I mean, I don't blame Mark, to tell you the truth, because if I was not who I am and I was down here, I would certainly put on some heavier gear as well. I mean, I've never been down here without people without long t-shirts or long pants and stuff. Not unless they're real true hikers that are familiar with this type of terrain and over the years have become more confident. Now we're going to be going back to our right in a few minutes time, direction of Bath. But I want to bring you down to this point here and then we can work our way back through the actual tracks itself. Beautiful hiking tracks that go down through here. They're all along here. They're very good. The only thing is you might have a little slipperiness on occasions. As I'd mentioned, there's a lot of mud clay and silt. Mark, it's fine. I would move all around. That's not a problem. You're not going to block me for sure. Beautiful. And just to show you the amount of sargassum we have and all the fresh float that's coming in as well, we just make our way a little bit over onto the beach a little further. Now we've done this walk quite a few times, but I've never walked it in the companionship of a friend. So I'm really happy to do so this morning. Now the erosion that we continuously talk about on this side here, very, very evident because of the color of the actual cliff itself. You can see all the fresh areas that have slipped in the past. No sand is visible this morning at all, but there is a small beach down here. Only when you see it's actually drying back the swell itself, you're able to see the sand. As you know, low tide today, I think it's around 11 something, so we're right now in the higher tide or higher section of the tide. Just beautiful. Now all along that cliff there that you're seeing, there's a track that runs just on the inside of where all that slippage is, that goes from here right down into Martin's Bay. Just have to take your time. If you are unsteady, I wouldn't recommend this route. If you have a problem with balance, I would not recommend this route because there are a couple of areas that are very, very narrow that are on like 15-20 foot drop-offs. So you know, if you are a person that's conscious about your balance, you will most definitely start to panic in those areas. That is not what you need out here. You just need to be calm, relaxed, and you know, have faith in yourself. But if you don't have that faith, I wouldn't recommend walking this here for sure. I just want you all to see that I'm actually here, not doing a voiceover. And Mark's friend walking with the camera is actually me this morning for sure. You know, good morning to all of you all. Welcome to beautiful Barbados. We're going to have a beautiful walk for you this morning. We're going to walk up through the bush area as I had mentioned. You've been here before, some of you. For those that have not, sit back, relax, get your popcorn, get your drink or your favorite beverage and enjoy the morning because we're going to have some beauty for you. Here we go. We're going to start our walk up again. Now you can see there are paths all over. The actual out here is very heavily fished, so the guys will walk close to the coastline. As you can appreciate, a lot of them go on these rocks and actually fish as well. Maybe you'll see one on some of the rocks a little further out. But you can walk so many different ways here. But the main hiker's route is just behind where we are. That's where we're going to get back on now. All right, Marco, let's go back this way, my friend. Yep. Just gotta watch stuff for early vines and stuff, right? I hope some more of you will take the opportunity to come and walk with me in the future as well. I know I haven't really opened it up too much because I'm never too sure where we're going. Before, you know, I like to check the weather conditions and stuff in the morning. That determines a lot of it. But we can get a general idea there. So if some of you are on the island, you want to do something, let's look and see where you're staying, what kind of vehicles you may have, if you do have any. Let's join together and enjoy this beautiful Barbados on the morning. Remember though, you gotta get early. When you see darkness, doesn't mean you stay in bed. You gotta get out when it's dark. Beautiful down here. Well walked paths, as you can see. The Bath beach house. They have hiking tours that run through all the section. The Barbados Hiking Association also use here very often. And as you would see, people like myself and many others that want to show this side of Barbados also take this in as well. It's just beautiful. Now normally I would have, well not normally, but in the past I would have looked at that sargassum and seen something that was not a good sight. No, it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's all a part of nature. Nature is playing its course. I just hope we don't affect it anymore to make it any worse. But it's beautiful golden blanket this morning. Hills, crickets, everything around here. You can hear the crickets all over this morning, singing their merry tunes. Now Mark, just be careful out here, huh? This is a good slip off here. Now if this was wet surface, this would throw you down for sure. You have to be really, really careful. So again, if it is wet or it is damp, come with the expectation of introducing your panza to flora, because you will probably go down if it is wet. No matter how careful you are, you will get a slip or two, but just take your time. And if you're prepared for a nice little fall, you may not be Olympically trained like me. You may not hold gold medals like I do, but you know, could just take your time and go through these areas gingerly. Make sure you don't take a tumble. Remember, I am not only Olympically qualified in walking trails like this, I'm also Olympically qualified in falling and recovering, which is an important thing. I will show you some of those gold medals, Mark, man. Don't laugh at me so bad. Love it. Okay, what I'm going to do when I get to this point here, I'm just going to ask Mark what he feels like out here, what he's experiencing, and the sensations he's going through. So you will get a different viewpoint of everything that's going on. So Mark, I'm going to turn this camera on you for a second and just ask you what your impressions are and what you're seeing today.
This is just amazing. And I know you guys can see, but you can't smell that freshness of the ocean, feel that breeze. It's just amazing.
Yep, lovely, man.
Truly alive, that's how I feel.
Right, and we're now starting, so I'm going to make sure and interview a little later on again, just so you can also, you know, let everybody know, because what you see is not what you feel, as he said, and what you're smelling. I know you all are sensing sea spray and stuff because you're actually tuning your memories into your visions. However, over here has a very strong scent this morning of sea spray. I'm not smelling any sargassum, no decaying sargassum or anything. It is just beautiful out here this morning. Yeah, it's just fresh. Yeah, just come in the color. You can see even the ones in the sand are fresh. In the distance there, you see that rock with that shelter that has been created on it. That's where you'll find a lot of fishermen. We've seen them before in the past. They'll go out there and sit down for the entire day. The actual shelter is something that was only popular the last 4 months or so. Those were further inland and were used by hikers, but they've put it out there and modified that section. So rain or shine, they'll be able to fish today, carry home something for their families. All right, we're going to start off again. I don't know how long this vlog will be, but our destination is the beginning of Bath, where the signal starts to fade, and that's where we will stop. So it's a little ways off, and we're just going to take our time. I'm in no rush today. Mark's fine. He's got all of his approvals for staying out with me today, and I think you all are okay. If you all get tired, you know what to do. Put me on pause, turn me off, whatever. We'll be here when you get back and have some time to view it. The sunlight coming through here is just gorgeous. Beautiful. Now it's strange to talk about manchinals on this side, but they do have manchinal trees on this section as well. A few of them, nothing like over the other side. What they do have a lot of is, oh boy, sea grapes. None out here today though, and that's a strange thing because just maybe about 2 miles down to the east, sorry, to the west from here down by Martins Bay, sea grapes are now beginning to bloom down there in one section. So this is what we talk about sometimes while we're on our vlogs, about how the climatic conditions and weathering conditions on this side here make things different. The west coast, there are no sea grapes and no trees either, but they are on some areas. So I guess it all depends. I used to always think that it was seasonal, that all of them will come in together, but that is not the case. Similar to dunks, because we saw dunks a couple of days ago on a tree when we were on one of our vlogs, and we don't see dunks anywhere else on the island. That season for them is gone. So that's something else that's been worthy of note for me. All right. Now, as we're over on the east side, you can appreciate we're going to see some litter and stuff over here because everything floats in on this side of the island, whether it's dropped further up on the island and it floats down. This is the section that will catch it here on Long Beach, especially over on the southeast side. Just beautiful. I mean, even the mats of gold, but you can see there is actually a plastic, it looks like a bottle or something that's floating out there in the reef. I don't know if you can make that with any resolution, but that shows you how dense out here is. It's well above the water. This moss here is actually very, very dense. You really wouldn't want to go into that because to stay above it would be very, very difficult. You'd have to be really continuously swimming. So if you see mats like this here, I wouldn't recommend going in them at all. You also don't know what may be in it, you know, like any kind of dead fish or anything like that as well. So stay away from the sargassum, I would recommend for sure. If you're walking beaches, please do not walk over the sargassum unless you have on shoes, because it is more likely you will have stuff in there like sea urchins and stuff. All right, we got a little bit of dampness here. Hopefully it won't be too slippery. Should be able to make up here fairly comfortably. Now these are all manchineel trees. All this entire grove here are manchineel trees. So this will tell you that there is quite a bit over here. It's not just only on the west coast of the island. You can also find it on this side of the island as well. So if it was raining right now, we would be having to go through here like a rocket because I don't have my umbrella with me and Mark doesn't have on a hat, so we'd be coming through here rather quickly. It is just beautiful terrain. There are so many photo ops along this route. I don't have my other camera unfortunately anymore, so I'm not able to take any photos, but on the way back, because we have to come back the same way to get back to the truck, I'll see if I can capture a few. And I know Mark has been doing his shots as well, carrying home his memories for his family. All of these trees on the coastline falling. All the banks that there were in here, which is all soil, gone. Now I can't really see the railway tracks now, but they are actually off land to where we are. We may see them a little later on, but they are submerged under the sargassum where we were just now, but we may see some later on, but they are off of where we are. We'll also be going over some of the support structures for the bridges and stuff that were out here as well. I just think it's a cycle, to be honest with you. You know, it's just like the other cliffs and stuff up by St. John, Hackton's Cliff and stuff. You know, when they were coming out of the water, as you can appreciate, all the weaker matter that was around them was being eaten away as well too. So I personally just think we're growing and it's a cycle, but I'm really not too sure. That's just my layman's point of view. Remember, none of these things that I talked to you all about, I have any qualifications in, so they're just basically guesses and assumptions based on what I have seen through my lifespan. Now all of these gables are hand filled, so the wire mesh should be created, and then these rocks will be collected obviously by labor force, and then these will be built and constructed. No tractors will be bringing these in here or anything. So you can appreciate that what looks like a small bit of gable in here would have taken a considerable bit of time to get done, and a lot of blood and sweat and tears. Oh no. Right, Mark, you're my friend, man. Cheese on breads. Alright, okay, so I would like you all to see the wicked person that's with me today, and wicked in a nice way, but look at what he's doing to me. So, okay, I was looking down and you've brought my attention upward, Mark. Sorry. Anyhow, for those of you that like these fruit, I think they're beautiful ornaments to see, but to eat them, I wouldn't be interested at all, because it tastes terrible. No matter how much salt I put on them. Okay, I have someone disagreeing with me here, but don't mind. That's alright. I'm allowed to have the disagreements going on. I don't hold it against you, Mark. I'm not leave you and say, John. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now, if you look at how strange the formations are here, see, look, so there's a rock out there that's being put on top of that large rock. You know, that is what you'll find all along here, like down in Martins Bay. We've shown you down by Glenburnie, four of them. Right, thanks, Mark. Alright, the railway tracks, as you can see, are now visible here. Be careful when you're on the east coast, around the Soup Bowl, going over through Joes River, or anywhere along the east coast line, because a lot of this metal, as you can see, is basically rusted off over the years, even very sharp points. So some of these here may be buried under sand, especially like in the area between Soup Bowl and Joes River. You'll find a few of them that are just like inches below the sand, and depending on the sand movement of how close it will be to the surface. So if you're walking on the coastline over in the east, please pay special attention, because some of these spikes, as you can see, can be deadly. Now, Mark's showing me everything today. Let me tell you, I would have walked right by them, Mark. No, man, you would have seen them later on at some stage again. It's beautiful out here today, the peace and quiet. Actually, you know, we haven't really done a peace and quiet look, so I'll do a look for a nice photo op, and then we will take our usually 20-second or so, enjoying the scenery and also enjoying the sounds. The erosion out here, though, is so much over the last year or two. Quite a bit I have noticed, especially on the tree line. They're what really to bring my attention to it, because these were all great casuarina trees a few years back. If you hear someone say a mile tree, that's what we refer to the casuarina as, a mile tree. Alright, so this is as scenic a view as you could possibly want. Absolutely stunning. So I'll do this for a couple of seconds. I will keep quiet here, let you enjoy it. But before I go on the quiet mode, I see my angel is on board this morning. Good morning to you, Angie. Thank you for joining us again this morning. You know my heart is there with you, my dear. Alright, so I just want to let you have a few seconds to enjoy this quietness and peace and tranquility that we are experiencing over here for San. As I said before, when we get to the end, I'll ask Mark to tell us again what his impressions have been and what he has experienced while we're on our trip. You know, enjoy for a few seconds, folks. Just enjoy the sounds. I'm sorry if you all had a few microphone noises there just now, but I was actually turning it back around because I got it well twisted up. Don't want to interfere with our smoothness today. Just beautiful. And where we've come from, a general idea. Now you could see the cellular tower right up in the hill there. So all here is perfect coverage, I would think. And as you can appreciate, why we would lose it if we went further on, just to give you an understanding of how we're restricted, not only by weather or sea conditions, we're also restricted by coverage on the island as well. I thought we had full island-wide coverage before I put on my gauge, and then I all of a sudden realized a lot of areas are extremely weak, and we really don't want to be taking them in unless we have to. Alright, onward we shall go again. Now there are many areas on the hiking route between Bath and down to, say, East Coast itself to Kettlewash. Yes, you can hike along Kettlewash after that, but the main cliff areas are where we're walking this morning. And as I said, down through Martins Bay, Glenburnie, down into Six Men's Bay, not Six Men's Bay, what I'm talking about, down into Atlantis area, etc. But as you can appreciate, they're getting narrower and narrower as we're losing land, especially the section on by Glenburnie to Martins Bay, extremely narrow. So if you are hiking, just be wary of that. Take your time, please. There's no rush, you know, but don't be frightened for it. Just take your time. As long as you're confident in your balance and your abilities to walk, you'll be fine. So you're seeing again a situation here where you had this big boulder on top of the other one, and that would have been originally all surrounded, I would imagine, by land and stuff, and it's been eroded off over the years. I don't think we were that far out for a very long time, but as the island has risen, all the weaker matter will get eaten out and just leave the other hard matter, which is the solid coral itself. You can see the kind of stuff that's going on here and the kind of trees that we're going to be losing very, very soon. Once again, we're under manchineal trees. You will see a lot of different color bands put out here on different trees and stuff. As I had mentioned, the Bath Beach House, they offer a lot of hiking, so they have different trails that run all out here, not just where we're walking, ones that go up through the hill and go all along the top ridge as well. So you'll find different bands that they will have up for their own hikes. And these may also be by the Barbados Hiking Association as well. I'm not too sure who actually put them here, but I know they do use them at Bath. This is one of the bridge structures that would have been for the railway originally. We would have seen the sort of like submerged poles a little while ago. So they used to always try and stay as close to level as possible. And this is one of the sections here that this bridge would have been reinforced for. This gorgeous, gorgeous terrain. I mean, if you want to lose yourself in nature, this is the place to do it. Mark, if you want to stop anywhere, my friend, just stop. I will hold up for you if you want to take in anything, huh? Because I know I breathe this in all the time. You are getting a chance today to do it. As beautiful as you could want. You see, Barbados is not just beaches. You know, when we first started these vlogs, I remember I was on a hike with our mountain goat, our hikologist, surfologist, Ryan. I remember we were talking about trying to introduce this here, this type of tourism. I guess it's been introduced by a lot of people before, but I should say we were just trying to highlight this type of tourism to the island. At that time, COVID was on. You know, you had to stay that far apart from everybody, and we were trying to tell people you could still come to Barbados, walk all around in beauty like this here, see no one, and not wear a mask because you're not going to be in close proximity to anyone. Now, hiker trails like these here, you will get a couple of people, but you can always move away. You know, you don't actually have to walk right up on the people. It is your choice where you want to go. There's lots of sections you can move away if you see someone coming. Very glary sun right now. The good thing about it is there are no beaches or anything that you can pick up. My friend, you know who I'm talking about now. So he's not with us today, thank goodness. Don't have to worry about him. Lots of little fall-offs and stuff all along the route that we're going on. Take you out of that sun for a little bit, let you have a look at the higher elevations around here. Trails all through these hills, all along the top ridges as well. This is just the main trail that I like to use because it's right on the coastline. As you know, I'm a person who loves the coastline, and that is why I'm going to bring you along here. I want to show Mark the section as well, because if you've never seen this before, I'm sure you're taking it in. Now, when we're going back the other way after the vlog, we're going to take our time and let him take all the pictures he wants, because at that time the sun will be up. I will also be able to do the same as well. You have to really absorb here and breathe it in. It is not something you just walk by quickly and don't look around. You need to look around for sure. I see one of our munchers tell me no shortcuts. No shortcuts today, my brother. Maurice, I'm on a good trail. So we're good to go. Few rocks and vines, trip vines across the way as well. You know, I got to keep looking down, so I'm only looking at the screen on occasions because you have to be careful out here. These are coral heads. These do not move. That's not a little rock that's in there that if you kick it, it's going to move. That is not going to move. So you would know who will win the battle between that and your foot. Take your time. Just take your time and watch where you're walking. Remember, this sour grass that we have here grows long strings of it. So if it comes across the crop path and you're not aware of it, you could easily step on the long end and easily trip yourself up. That can happen quite easily. So again, you've got to be real careful your footing when you're walking these areas, not just because of slippage, but for all other things as well. Just be careful. Look at this beautiful, beautiful coastline. I will never ever take this for granted. I have been through this route so many times recently, and every time I come through it, I see something different. I see other areas because the lighting, shading, shadows have all changed as well. You know, it's just stunning. Yeah, we have some guys that are about to go fishing. As you can see, they're using the rocks further out. They'll be out there for pretty much a day. Morning! Friendly always. Guys up here, always friendly, always waving off, always speaking. That is real Bajan. Further into the country you go, I find the more you see what Barbados you see like. You know, you can wave at people in the country and they'll wave back to you. Not saying it doesn't happen on the town area, but not as often as it does up in the country for sure. We actually were talking about that yesterday in a conversation I was having with some friends. Just beautiful out here this morning. I'm seeing all of the accolades going up. Beautiful, stunning, amazing, breathtaking. Yep. I'm not killing Mark. Hold on a sec. Somebody's saying I'm killing you. Mark, let them know I am not killing you. Mark is not even breaking a sweat, man. He's fitter than me. You know, mate, sport. You know me. You know, one time I used to brag about my fitness. I would tell you, man, I doing kilometers, over 6 kilometers, averaging 7.5 kilometers an hour. Speed walking. Nowadays, I tell you, I go over 6 kilometers, I average in half a kilometer an hour. That's fine for me. I'm bragging about my laziness for sure. Now this section here, you see these kind of things all over the place are down. Well, in some areas. These are shelters that are put up by the hikers as well. In case of having any torrential rains and stuff, these would normally be at like a 45-degree angle, and they would shelter underneath that there, 45 to 90 degrees, and they would just shelter while it's very, very strong. You'll also see some coconut thatched areas as well too, which would be just areas that you'll find people coming down here and camping out, not really spending a lot of overnight time, but coming out and spending the day and just relaxing in this kind of beautiful, beautiful natural area. Pretty hard to get lost on this route, you know, because it's pretty well used. There are some cycle tracks as well. Some guys in motorcycles and bicycles also use these here. So, you know, they're fairly well used, as you can see. Just beautiful. Just another lookout for you. You see all the railway tracks very clear and evident there. You'll see one of the support bridges that has actually gone down. You can appreciate that would have been level. That would have been on solid ground, just like the railway tracks would have been as well. However, you will see what has been happening along here. Now, I know that you know that the railway would be expensive to maintain, but can you imagine what it'd be like if we had that as a tourist attraction here on the island? If it ran from, say, Belle Plaine, just along the east coast of the island, I think that would be just amazing. Something that maybe the government is probably looking at already, probably just talking about what they are. But I can just appreciate, because of all of the kind of erosion I've had out here, how expensive that venture would be. So it wouldn't be something that you can just undertake like that. It would have to be something that you built and accumulated money for a very long period of time. But just beautiful. All right, sir. I remember you could walk around there at one time. That was years ago, though. Just lovely out here. I love the overhanging of the trees and how nature has been left to create its own bridges and covers and canopies. I just love that. You know, no one has cut them off or anything like that. They're just basically trimmed out what you need to get through and left the rest. Lots of glare, lots of sunshine. I did mention to you this morning, bring your darker makers. You know, we do have a disclaimer up there that we bring you to these locations. If you damage your eyesight, we are not responsible. So, that sounds cold-hearted, but realistic. Of course, I would care for your eyes, definitely, but that's why we warn you about it. That's why we urge you to bring your darker makers. Even if you do like a real Bajan and wear them fashionably on the top of your head like a bandeau, that is fine. Just bring them with you anytime we go out touring, because you never know what we're going to encounter. You will see how thoughtfully maintained this is as well. The old bridge that was here all decayed and rotten. New one has been laid. We've seen this before when we walked here last time as well. Just run a reference tip to people who have not seen that before. As you can see, it has changed. People keep this really well maintained. This is a solid bridge. You can see it from its bolting structure, you know, down to the wood itself, very solid. Having a good walk this morning. As I said, we're not rushing. This may be a little bit long, but the route has been picked and we're just taking our time. And I am lazy and enjoying the stroll. More manchineel trees one more time. I am sorry that the berries weren't actually out here now that Mark could smell the manchineel berries, because I know he smelled them before he's Bajan. But I know that the smell of a manchineel, I love it. I really do love it. Yeah, I've actually seen some changes on this route since we've been doing this over the year now. Definitely made a few changes. Just vantage points everywhere, you know, for the fishermen. I've made a lot of paths and stuff, as I mentioned, and also hikers, because a lot of them come in with a camera and taking this experience and carrying it home for their friends and family. And gee, I gotta tell you though, these boots feel sweet. Like how they're feeling this morning, nice and steady, no slippage, lovely. Yeah, so you see the path, the roots all over. You know, you just gotta be careful when you're walking through these areas. You know, don't get caught by the scenery and look off and walk. Stop, take your photos, take your memories to vision. But please, when you're walking, keep an eye on the track for me, because there are highs and lows, rocks, roots, grass that comes across, everything. So just take your time. Really a beautiful morning, stunning morning. The weather conditions, absolutely perfect right now. A little bit on the humid side, but perfect. I think you're probably around 25, maybe 25, 26 degrees centigrade, somewhere around there. Feels that way to me, but there's a cooling breeze coming off of the east. Not strong, just enough to chill it and cool it for you. As you will have noticed, almost all of the route we've been on is mud. So rain conditions and time back with mud, and you would know what down here is completely different to what we're experiencing right now. What we're taking in are some beautiful spots, but dry weather, so very easy to walk. But if it was wet down in here, you would definitely be doing a lot of slipping. Going to another scenic point for you to have a look again, maybe do another photo op for you, right along the coastline as well. Then we get back on track again. I'll just turn you a little bit into the sun, so excuse the glare. Actually, there's so much glare, I'm not going to stay there for too long. But just so you can see what this section here looks like as well. And then I'll turn you back down onto the west so we can have a look at the beautiful scenery and take in a nice photo opportunity again. So, come through my friend, you're good. So this is our photo op. Again, I think this is beautiful, natural terrain. I love how the actual dying casuarina trees and stuff are setting, sort of like a boxing around what we're seeing. Just beautiful. So enjoy your photo op. Well, I can't conk, but my mouth is telling me I need to talk some more. So that's the end of our photo op for now. So onward we shall go again.
See another bridge there.
Yep. Oh, that's just on the side, yeah. Lots of the trees that I do not like. Well, I don't mind the trees. I think they're pretty trees. I think the fruit are pretty too, but a lot of bad tasting fruit are around me, as you can see. I gotta say that quietly because Mark's behind me and I know that he likes these, so I can say that one low profile right now. I must say though, he's an amazing guest. I would normally have had somebody tell me, because you're talking bare nonsense about those sea grapes. I love them, those things taste delicious, but he's very nice and subtle. I can hear his little laugh in the background and I know what that means, but anyhow, that's great. Down here is looking really beautiful and lush. I am surprised at the lack of rainfall that we have had, how lush it is, but we have had some good little showers over the last couple of weeks, so that's probably what has it in this condition. But it's really, you know, really fairly lush. I'm very surprised at how lovely it is down here at the moment. Watch your slippage, your brother. No matter where you stop and look here, it's sort of like a photo op. You know, as I said, I don't take any of this for granted. I don't walk around here and say, well, I saw that before, I'm not going to stop, because these are the places that I see God's creations for me. You know, all of how the rocks are all displayed, all the tree line is, all the paths, you see everything. So, you know, I really do appreciate all this. I do have a respect for this here, and I know what nature is all about. Just like we're seeing the golden mat out there, that is a fresh load that's coming in here of sargassum. I don't see the huge mats that we would see like later on in the year when it becomes the season for that, but there's definitely quite a bit out here. I'm surprised it is here already. Usually in March is when I see more of this, but it seems to be a little bit early this year to me. As we know, it did last a little longer last year. If the winds are low, I'm going to do another section out here and get Mark to come with me again next week. We'll see how that goes, depends on the wind conditions. Forecasts are strong winds coming into the end of next week. The biggest swells prediction so far, 3.3 to 3.5 meters. We haven't seen that for the year as yet. Not too sure what will happen. So this is where we come back to civilization. The very first house we're going to come to in the Bath area. A lot of little homes were set up down here. Originally, all of them were like this here. A couple of them are modified and gone, you know, produced some better homes and better structures on this side of the island. But this is one of the traditional ones. This is how the beach houses were in Kettlewash, Bashaba, Bath, Concepts Bay. That is what we would have seen, this style home. That has changed a lot, especially in the Kettlewash area. Sad to say, Kettlewash buildings and structures now that I think, to me, ruins the atmosphere of down there and the scenery of down there. But again, remember, this is just my opinion. Have a group coming this way now. I don't know where they've started from, but we're gonna put them on camera, find out where they're from. Hopefully not camera shy or camera angry. So find out. Anyway, I have my deputy with me, so you have no fear. My law enforcement's are walking today. Good morning, how are you all today? You all having a good time? How are you? It is what is true, absolutely. I do this here, but not with you all anymore, really, you know. How are you all going? Where are you all coming from today?
We're doing a twin hike.
Right. Oh, nice. Right through?
Right.
Right.
Last night.
Oh.
In the morning.
Wow.
From Bridgetown, Independence Square.
Oh, so you're going back the other way now?
No, we ended in
Oh, okay, okay.
like
Nice.
6 miles.
Wow, that's a great walk. I see you all are fit as usual. The hashes starting back up soon. These are Barbados hash harrier people. Some of these guys, some of these are hikers enjoying the trails today.
But what we're doing today is that the pilot management is celebrating 20 years.
Right.
So these are employees. Brian is the owner.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So
Nice.
that's
But it's
what
good
it's
to
all
see you.
about.
Well, welcome to the EMC vlog this morning. This is our deputy here, Mark Peters. Mark is a member of ours that's Bajan, that's living overseas in England, who's in visiting. So we're doing some of our own stuff as well too. Glad to see you all this morning. Hope you all have an amazing day and enjoy yourselves. Actually, you all looking fresh at 26 miles. You all had a car or something?
But we have a good cause, you see,
Yeah.
because for every mile that we walk, we're donating $100 to two different charities.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wonderful
That's
doing
amazing.
that, yes.
And you want to tell me what y'all's organization is again? So I have the microphone on you properly, because something
Yeah,
like
well,
this needs to be known.
basically we are a janitorial company, a building service contracting company,
Right?
right? And we're based in Trinidad, Tobago, and Barbados, and we're celebrating. In a nutshell, we're celebrating 20 years.
20 years.
So we've kicked off the celebration as of yesterday, with a back in time with all the staff on social media
Right.
and so forth. So we have a celebration going on for the rest of the year.
Lovely.
So today we are doing the train hike, and we would be, as June said, we would be donating for every mile that we do $100
Right.
to a charitable.
I think that is amazing. And thank
Yeah.
you for letting us know about it, because worthy causes like that need to be known about, you know?
Yes.
I hope you all have an amazing time.
Thank you.
Don't ever invite me for 26 miles. It'll take me at least 2 weeks. So, yeah, you'll have a great day.
We have some drinks to it.
You have drinks? Well, that's even more of a problem. It'll probably take a year to get around 26 miles
We
then.
have a van stopping every so many. They stop in Martins Bay.
Right.
And we have to take some libation.
Oh, that's why you're looking so sprightly and happy. You're making
We
your
have
way
a
to your drink
support
van.
that followed us during the night, and these
Right.
guys started with us in concert.
Sunset.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
But we did it. We started at
The
12
three of
o'clock.
us started.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, so we had some support during the night in certain areas where we
Right.
had water and sandwiches and rehydration and,
Right.
and all that.
That is amazing, man. I think it's incredible, for sure. I actually wouldn't mind joining you one these days. So,
You want to take a picture of my feet?
Wait, they
All
look
the
too clean.
blisters on
I
it?
can't let anybody see your feet.
No,
They're too clean.
blisters, you're not talking about the blisters.
Oh, the blisters. Oh, okay. Yeah, that won't fool me. I can do that within a mile. You'll have a great day, everyone, and positive right through. Okay, guys, take care. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. Yeah, as I say, we can't.
Walk from town.
Yeah, they walk from town. Yeah, as I say, we can't stage things like this here that happen. We're gonna venture up to the waterfall right now, so I can show Mark this huge waterfall, and then we'll probably stop our broadcast there. We'd actually make our way down to the beach. 'Cause I want to do a little beach. If we do lose the signal and we do get cut off, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. Of course, I would like to thank all the care team, all the Munch Kings, and the deputy for coming and supplying some security for me today, and for all of you all for coming on here. So I'm just saying that because we may not get through if we get disrupted. I'm not going to try and fight with it today, but I want to show you the waterfall, and then if we are blessed with a signal, we will finish off in the beach. So we just make our way up here right now. Yeah, the Barbados Hash Harriers, they run all of these areas usually on Saturdays. That hasn't happened since COVID has come in. But if you go online and look up Barbados Hash Harriers, very interesting, lots of fun. It usually ends with lots of drinks and all kind of events that go on after presentation of awards for those who were mischievous and stuff en route, etc. Really a lot of fun. So if they are up and running, and you want to do something really lighthearted, they have walkers routes and runners routes, so it won't be a problem. There's really no water running today, as you can see. Just a little trickle and stuff. I'll just show you how dry it is here, even although we've had some rain. Now this comes from a stream that's up in actual Bath Plantation itself that runs down into this section. A beautiful little mural there. We've seen that before as well. Maybe Mark will put up some of his own pictures later on. Maybe we get some of those from him as well. It's been a long morning. It's been a long walk. I'm not tired. My mouth is most definitely not tired. I could do this all over again. But I don't want to bore you all today. And I think I've pretty much spoken to you all right through. Mark, let's just wait down to the beach. I'm going to get a little something from you for how you've seen what you've seen. We'll do that in a couple of seconds time. So, you know, for this whole week, events have been, not this week only, goes back quite a ways, but especially over last week, events have been happening. And we've been seeing things that, you know, wouldn't have been expected to be seen, like what we just saw. I mean, what a worthy cause, donations like that, you know, $100 for every mile, 26 miles. I think that's amazing, you know. I think anything like that there needs to be supported and encouraged, and that's why I'm so happy that we were able to see them this morning and talk to them about what they were doing. I know that our microphone was in the wrong direction at the beginning, so it might be a little bit low. You might have to amplify it, but hopefully you were able to capture all of it in the end. Now, I don't know what was on this Mother Frog's rock. We call it some Mother Frogs down here. There's a really good surf break here as well. On certain occasions, it has to be really timely. But I'm not too sure what was on it. And I think two of you all on here would probably be able to enlighten me on that. But I do know there was a structure here. I remember more of a structure here when I was a little fella. But as you can see, the walls are there and stuff. And I don't know if there was a bridge in there that had something to do with the railway. I'm really not too sure. But hopefully somebody on here will enlighten us. As you can see, there's lots of sargassum. So before we go, I'm just going to get Mark to tell us what he's experienced. And if he will come back with me again, if we're doing another one, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for it, Nicholas. As you know.
Right.
We had beautiful conditions this morning. It was dry. The trail a little bit challenging in some areas, but because it was dry, it was fine.
Right.
But it was just a magical stroll to be able to see and smell all these beautiful. Even I've been here in a car,
Right.
and it's a completely different experience.
Absolutely.
Completely different experience.
Yeah. Well, I hate to tell you, but we have to redo that same walk again now. Because
and
we'll
go
go back
back.
to truck. But we'll take our time and we'll take our photos. But I definitely like to take some photos for everyone to see what was going on today as well. But Mark, thank you, man. And seriously, you know, even if I'm doing a South Coast or West Coast and we can't come because of conditions, I can give you a shout again.
Yeah,
and I've committed to that in front of all the EMC, so you know for sure it's going to happen.
Thanks
Definitely.
for having me, Nicholas.
Man,
Thanks
no, man,
everyone
brother. Thank you
for
for
watching. You know we're all one big family.
Absolutely, and that's how it should be. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to give you a 360 here now, and then I will just be wrapping up at basically the same time. For those of you that want to see something beautiful, you have seen it this morning, or seen a little teaser of it. And as Mark had said, it is a little challenging for some people. It's really not designed for everyone. But if you have the opportunity to come and walk in areas like this here and see what Barbados is like in these areas that you would not normally see when you're in a car, because remember, when you're in a car, you're going from Martins Bay to Bath on the inland. You're not seeing any of the coastline at all. So we've had that opportunity to take that all in this morning. We have been blessed with an amazing morning this far. I mean, no rain, conditions are cool. It is absolutely beautiful this morning. It is perfect. There's nothing more I could have asked for this morning than what we have been blessed with. It has been an amazing morning. Absolutely stunning. Thank you all again. We're off tomorrow. As you all know, off day doesn't mean that it's going to be a quiet laid-back day, because tomorrow is going to be my busiest day of the week for sure. I'm going to be down at our office. I like to say our office because there are a lot of you here now that are calling it your office as well. So we will be at our office tomorrow. We will be at Crystal Waters tomorrow afternoon. Those of you on the island, please come and join us. Come and say hi to your family and friends. And those that are not here on the island, well, I know you will have us in your hearts and in your mind. Have a great day, everyone. Remember that today we have come and we have walked with the joys and happiness of freedom and peace and beauty. And all that has come from God for me and for everyone else. Remember to follow your light today. No matter how dark it may appear, the light is there. And it's not the light has got dim, it is that you will stop looking for it. So if you find things that are obstacles in your way, you find difficulties in your life, remember it is you that is not seeing God. It is you that's not seeing what His journey is for you. So open your eyes, pray a little harder until you see Him, and please follow your light. Have a great day, everyone. Love you all.